Mercy here with Joseph Habedank. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, my name's Joseph Habedank. I'm 33 years old. I'm a singer-songwriter. I live in Nashville, Tennessee. I have a beautiful wife named Lindsay, and I love singing. So thank you so much for having me on today.
For those who haven't heard, could you share your testimony?
Yeah, I was raised in a really great Christian home and joined a group called the Perrys when I was 17. And about 5 years after I joined them, I got an ulcer in the back of my throat and got introduced to prescription drugs and ended up getting addicted to prescription drugs and had to come off the road after about 5 years of dealing with that. And I went and got some great help, and Jesus did a miracle in my life. And now we go all over the country and try to help other people who are struggling with addiction. We also try to help families, try to encourage moms and dads and grandparents who have kids and grandkids that are struggling with addiction, and such a big part of our ministry. And so I always tell people God took the worst thing that ever happened to me and made it the best thing. So I'm really grateful for that.
What is your current favorite song to sing?
Probably Here He Comes, just based on the fact that people seem to really get excited, and that always encourages me, because you always want people to like your music, and so I love singing Here He Comes. It's probably my favorite thing I've written in the last few years for sure.
What is your favorite vacation spot when you're not on the road?
There's a little place in Florida called Rosemary Beach. It's a little village, and it's in between Destin and Panama City, and we love going to Rosemary Beach. If you've never been, it's an amazing place. It's almost like stepping into a different country. It's so cool. So we love going there. Yeah.
What would you like to be known or remembered for?
I think if you would ask me that 10 years ago, it probably would have been, I wanted people to think I was a great singer, a great songwriter, but I think more than anything, I just want people to remember me, that God took a broken person and made him whole and used him in spite of him to help other people. And I think that's what I want my legacy to be.
How did you and Lindsay meet?
We actually met at a fairground. I was singing with the Perrys at this fairground, and she came. She actually came with her mom and sat in the car and read a book. She was not interested in the concert, but when she finished her book, she finally came in and we met. And we didn't start dating until a couple of years later. We started dating in 2008, got married in 2010, and we've been married a little over 8 years now. So it's been a great journey, and I'm so grateful for her. She's walked through a lot of stuff with me, as I just shared. She was with me through my addiction and my recovery. So she is just a rock solid human being, and definitely the greatest thing that ever happened to me outside of Jesus. So I'm really grateful for Lindsay.
What is the most useless talent you have?
Useless talent. Well, I am really good at playing Rook, which is a card game. I love playing Rook. I would say that I feel like I'm a very talented player, but I feel like it's a very useless talent. So there you go. Yeah.
What is one of the most important things you've learned since being in full-time gospel music?
I think not to rush God's timing, whether it be in your ministry or things that you want to achieve at a certain time. I'm a very ambitious person, very probably a little too driven at times, and I'm still learning that. But I think the biggest thing I've learned is to let God work on His timetable, because His time is always so much better than ours. It's so much more perfect. I mean, we're flawed and we want to rush everything. I'm a very impatient person, and so learning to wait on God is something that I've definitely learned, and I continue to learn. So, yeah, patience.
And lastly, where do you get the inspiration for the songs you write?
Well, ironically, I actually get a lot of my inspiration from listening to other music, because people don't realize we purchased a bus last year. It flooded, so I drive in an SUV with Lindsay everywhere we go, and so I usually listen to music for numerous hours every week. I would say I probably listen to music 20, 30 hours a week, and that's a lot. And so I always pick up on different things when I'm listening to other music, and trying to find a way, not necessarily to mimic it, but to find ways to, hey, that might be a secular song, but there's something in there that could be used for a gospel, and trying to draw that kind of thing. And Here He Comes was birthed that way. It was birthed out of me watching a documentary on a secular artist who was making an album, and I think God used it to say, hey, you can take that beat or that feel and put it into a gospel song, And and I think God can use anything. I mean, He used a donkey in the Bible, so if He can use a donkey, He can certainly use anything else. So I think listening to other music is probably where I gain my greatest inspiration, and it makes me want to do better by listening to other great artists.
Thank you for doing this.
You bet, anytime.